everyone, it's Kushanta. Today we're going to talk about cybersecurity. Especially, this is a quick review for non-techies, not for the people who are working with cybersecurity or IT, but for users. It's equally important for everyone to understand what is cybersecurity and also what are the areas that we need to look at, especially during this lockdown period, and also since people are working from home. So everybody is working from home now, using their own devices, their own networks to connect to their corporates. So we need to understand what are the risks involved during this connection and working from home scenario. So let's begin. So today we're going to discuss how to keep our private information safe. So we'll try to understand what are our private information and how to make them safe. The next thing we're going to discuss is securing our home PCs or laptop in a very simple way, not technical jargons. And the third one, what is malware and how do I detect it? So it's a really important topic. Mostly for techies, it's a piece of cake, but it's easy to understand. They know everything, but for general users, they don't understand much about this malware and how our devices getting infected. And the fourth one, again, an important one, because mainly since during this lockdown period and even before that, we use a lot of online portals to order our stuff like groceries and technical other stuff and whatnot. So how to use online transaction in a secure way, and I'm going to give you some simple tricks to keep them safe, keep your online transactions safe. And the fifth one is securing emails. Email is one of the methods that we use and officially accepted, and some people think it's really secure, but the bad thing is it's not very secure way to communicate. But we need to understand how we can send and receive emails in a secure way. So those are the areas that we're going to discuss during this video. Let's begin. So I'm Kushanta, as you know. So I'm gonna give you some insights of the security during this session. And not only that, I'm going to give you 4 takeaways during this video. 5 takeaways are tips to protect your PCs and tips to protect from malware and tips to protect perform online transaction in a secure way, and also tips to detect phishing. Let's talk about phishing in a while. So let's move on. And cybersecurity awareness is really important, because just ignorance can cause you a huge harm. And by just knowing this, you can prevent about 70% of attacks today. And sometimes entire attack can be prevented if you would have known this was an attack. If you were pretty much aware about this type of attacks, you would have very easily prevented those. And the next thing is, today everybody is connected 24/7. We have multiple devices, and I have seen one of the research papers or articles that any country people are having mobile phones more than toothbrushes. It's really funny because usually one person has one toothbrush, but most of the countries, they have more than one device. So that's why we are running out of IPv4 IPs. So it's something to talk about our techies, but talk with our techies. But next thing is, we are connected using multiple social media. So we are connected through WhatsApp, Viber, Skype, and then we have Facebook, we have LinkedIn, we have Twitter. So there are so many. So with those, we are always connected, and sometimes we don't know what to expose and what not to expose. So that makes another issue. And then we have multiple devices and the global presence. So knowing any information from some other countries is easy now. So if something happens here, everybody knows. So with global presence, just imagine if you leak, or if you just without your knowledge, if you expose something really personal, you're going to be really trouble, because sometimes very personal video clips and photos are posted in public domains, public places in the internet. So it's really really important to understand the weight of these kind of acts. and then automation and assistance, and then you can automate many of the stuff. For an example, if you have a form in internet, so people can write a script to auto fill it up. So that's the reason most of the cases you have captcha kind of thing to understand whether you are a human or not. They will ask very silly questions like 2 plus 2. Sometimes you might be laughing, but that is just to test or check it's you are a human or it's a automated try. And then we are talking about smart offices and smart homes using Internet of Things kind of IoT devices. Most of the people know these devices as IoTs. So smart offices and smart homes. So there we use a range of little gadgets to make it smart. For an example, whenever raining, you would want to close your doors and windows. For that we use small gadgets, but with that we expose ourselves to outside. An attacker, for instance, they can take entire control over your smart office and smart home if you have not done it in a proper way. And simply, we all are connected to internet. We can't breathe without internet in today's scenario, because if you don't have internet for a few minutes, our IT guys know how will be the response is. And the next thing is, we are connected, as I said. So earlier, before some times back, like before 10 years ago, whenever we create our email address, it asks some questions in order to recover your email address in case of you've forgotten your password. So then most of the questions would be, some people, some mature people, so they would know the secret questions were at that time, like what is mother's maiden name, or what is your birthday, what is my birthday. So whenever we create our email addresses, we used to put those questions. We used to select those questions. The reason was it's easy to remember. Everybody knows that. So but the problem is, people understood with today's presence, internet presence and the connectivity, now these secret answers are no more secret. Everybody knows, for an example, my birthday. So all of my friends knows through Skype or social media, tomorrow's this guy's birthday. So if you have put this kind of a secret question, it's no more secret. So that makes people hard to understand the security with this connectivity. And then we expose ourselves to use by various mechanisms. For an example, operating systems. What are operating systems? Our techies knows, but in general, operating systems are a system that make our hardware work. If you have an iPhone, and it has something called iOS, which is an operating system. And if you have Android phone, Android is your operating system. And if you are using Windows system, Windows is your operating system. So all these operating systems are tracking you. That if you go and have a look at your Windows, so I'm gonna open up my Windows settings, for an example, and if I go to privacy, and if I select diagnostic and feedback, so by default it's selected basic. So if you go down, you would see, if you install this is not installed by default. So this information gathered by Microsoft. So you would see many of my information, some are very identifiable kind of stuff collected by Windows systems. Not only Windows, even Android and even iOS. So we have personal assistants like Hey Google, and we have Siri. So all of them are listening to us. Probably you would know, whenever you are chatting with someone or talking to someone, suddenly Siri starts talking to you, interrupting to you. So that's how they were listening to us. Not only those, and some smart TVs does that. If it is voice control TV, which means it's keep on listening to us. We don't know if they are storing those information. And you can do a smart test where keep your mobile phone on your desk and then talk about something like electronic stuff. And then after some time, if you open up any news site or any website, you would see you are getting advertisement related to your discussion. So which means these people are gathering our information. And then not only operating system and apps, some of the applications. So when you are installing some apps to your iOS or Android devices, you may have noticed some applications are accessing your location information, your video, your storages, your images. So sometimes once I try to install one of the apps, app was a small flashlight. So flashlight is to just to use your backlight of your device to be able to use as a flashlight. Amazingly, this flashlight would want to access my contact information, right, and locational information. Why would flashlight would want to access my location? So that's very tricky, right? So likewise, these apps are tracking you, and then our mobile phone inbuilt cams are tracking us. That's another danger thing. For an example, our physical conversation can be tracked, and then and the next thing is you would need to know images contain so much data. For example, if you take a photo and if you upload it to Facebook without even looking at it, and sometimes your settings are just to upload anything that you take, pictures using your mobile phone camera, these images are carrying so many information about you. For example, the device that you use to take a picture, device model, operating system, the locational information. So you can't say that you took this photo when you're in Russia. We can check the location. So most of the cameras, if you have not removed this meta information from image, these images always carry your information, right, identifiable information. So it's not just an image, it contains a lot of additional information. So, and next thing is there are so many large range of tiny devices out there in the internet. So I just randomly selected few known as key grabbers or key loggers, where they can gather all the information, including passwords, including chats, and store them within this device. So you would see it's really small amount of money, about $20. So once you get it, you need to you can install it to any device, and whenever someone type using the keyboard, this device can collect this, store it, and also communicate it to a close by device. Let's say an attacker has his mobile phone in their own mobile phone. They can receive real-time information about your passwords, the way chatting, all this information. It's really scary. So these devices are becoming more and more cheaper, and also it's free delivery sometimes, and they will be delivering it to your home. And then in that sense, you should understand we don't have any privacy anymore, right? Everything is tracked. Listening to conversations and apps are tracking, devices are tracking every move. If you go and have a look at Google, you have something called Google My Activity. You can browse on the internet, and you can find out that. So you will be amazed every move that you took during the past. Everything is tracked by Google. Not only Google, everybody does that. So if you use any of these devices, every move of these devices are tracked, right? And then they are monitoring continuously. And the next thing is they can even track your expressions. For example, let's say if you install Facebook app on your device, and there was a research, they found that Facebook even tracking your facial recognition, facial expressions. In other words, let's say you want to like a post in Facebook, but you really don't like it, but just for the sake of the friendship, you are just click on like. But Facebook can understand from your facial emotional or facial expressions whether it's real like or not real like. So it's really now you should understand how much they're tracking us. And then our topic for the day, securing our PCs and laptop. So these are the 7 ways of my recommendations to protect your PCs and laptops. Number 1, physical security, really important. So if you can't protect your device physically being stolen, we can't talk about anything else, because if somebody steals your device, they can pull out almost all the information if you have not taken proper action to protect your data. And then the second one is operating system security. So we need to use licensed operating systems in a proper way, because otherwise you wouldn't receive critical updates. So it's better to use licensed operating system, especially when you're buying a device. Just focus about that as well, because if you try to buy operating system additionally, it costs money. But if you are buying your device with operating system inbuilt, so relatively the cost will be lower. Or else you can use open source operating systems, or whatever the way, it should be legal. And the third one is application security. Some people, they would want to install everything, right? So don't do that, because you don't know which application has which. So when you selecting an application, please only install whatever you would want, and from genuine sites. If it is Office application, always try to download from Microsoft. And if you are downloading any open source ones, please go and download from the genuine original website. Otherwise you are creating a lot of problems. And then the access to data, especially if single device being used by multiple people, you need to use separate accounts, because otherwise they can access your data. Or else you need to use some additional mechanisms to protect your data, because data is really, really important. And the fifth one is connecting to Wi-Fi. So when you are connecting to internet, since today, to get anything done, you need to connect it to internet. So then when you are connecting to Wi-Fi, really, really important, use a safe Wi-Fi connection, or a trustworthy Wi-Fi connection. It can be your home one, your home one, or your own one. So then what will happen is only known people are connected to this Wi-Fi. So it can be treated as a safe one. And also configure really hard to guess password. Not password, I would recommend something like passphrase, something like Jack and Jill went off the hills, something like that. So it's a very lengthy, so nobody's will be able to break it, because it's a passphrase. So at least put 20 characters for your Wi-Fi, because once you enter, you don't have to change it again and again. So don't use public Wi-Fi to do anything, including access to your social media, access to your personal email addresses. Don't do that. So if you can't find trustworthy, safe Wi-Fi, you can use your hotspot built onto your mobile phone. It's safer in a way, because otherwise if you are connected to Wi-Fi, public Wi-Fi, you don't know who has access to those Wi-Fi. And the sixth one is external devices. Don't let everyone to put their external drives, including pen drives, plug it into your laptops or devices. Don't do that. Don't use only your own devices, because we don't know what they have within these devices. The last one, the seventh one, is malicious software, like in other words, viruses, worms, Trojans. So I will talk about this in a while. So these software are written with bad intention. So the intention is damaging your device, damaging your data, deleting your data. So you have to be extremely careful about this malicious software. So if you can protect your device from these areas, you will be safe, right? So I'm not saying it's 100%, but you are reducing your risk. So first takeaway, securing your laptop. So these are the stuff that you can do. First one, in order to prevent physical security related attacks, you can use device trackers. So in case of losing device, you still have access to your device, or you can trace the device. One of the examples that I can give you is Prey Project, right? So Prey Project, this is the one. So it was there for some time as a free one, but now they have a subscription model introduced, but also still free option is there, or some of the features you can get for free up to 3 devices, right? So in the business model you can go up to 50 devices, but limited functionalities. But if it is home user, if you are a home user, you can use a free version of it. And then operating system security, user privileges. So you can use, so let me just quickly show you. You can right click on Windows logo there, and you can go to computer management, and then you can so it will load up your computer management window. Once you get it, just go to local users and groups, just a little bit expand it, go to users, and you can create a new user here. So put a new user, a password, and then you can do the configuration. It's really easy. You can give this PC to use someone else, right? So it prevent another person accessing your data, right? And then application security, use only required apps. If you are not using, please uninstall it, because you don't know when you will get an attack or a threat through that. And then access to data, you can prevent by using usernames. Next one is Microsoft system has inbuilt feature called BitLocker. If you go to control panel, so you can just type Windows R, then you will get this run command or Windows key and R, pressing Windows key and R, and just type control and then press enter. You will be redirected to control panel, and there you have a search bar. Just type BitLocker. So here we are, BitLocker drive encryption. So this will create encryption to this drive. So you can turn on BitLocker here, and you can apply your password, so others will not be able to access. And you have something called BitLocker to go. You can switch on this in your external drive or fixed drive. Then they would need, apart from username and password, they would need BitLocker password in order to access their data. All right, so it's going to be really important. And the next one I would like to show you is, there is another one called VeraCrypt. So you can download this from internet. It's free and open source tool. So this is the tool, and you would see it's open source one. So this is the website if you are interested. So these websites, so you can download this from this the website. So you would see Windows, Mac OS, Linux available. So Windows one you can download from here. So once you download and install, you would get this one. So from that you can create a volume. You can use this and you can create a volume, and then this volume can be mounted like this, and then you can use it. And once you're creating a volume, it will be ask you to provide your password. So without password, people will not be able to access your data. That is the next important thing. The next one I would like to talk about is safe browsing, connecting to Wi-Fi that we discussed. So please connecting to trustworthy Wi-Fi. So it can be your own one or your tethering point or hotspot. And the next thing is when you're browsing, right? So all the browsers are having private windows. For example, if I go to my Chrome, you have something called incognito window, where it will not keep traces to your device, right? So you would see incognito, and once you close down, it will not keep any cookies or sessions created to this device, so you can safely browse. And then external devices, please use trusted devices like your own pen drives, not everyone else's. And then malicious software, we will talk about this in a while. So I hope this is informative. The next one is malware. What is malware? Malware is being developed by various developers with bad intention. They would want to crash your data systems. They would want to delete your data. They want to steal your data. They want to get ransom out of the encrypted data. So it's really important to understand this. And then please be aware if you are getting something as an attachment for your email, and then if you are getting something through social media, don't just click and open it. Not in your phones, iOS or Android or even Windows, because it can be a malicious tool. So once you accept, so important thing is why the malware like viruses would need human intervention. If you have not clicked on that, it wouldn't be, your device would not be infected. It's something like social distance today, right? So please don't do that. And then device can be infected in various ways, including an attachments, and also when you're browsing untrustworthy websites. So you don't do that. And whenever you receive a link, always please be mindful not to just straight away click on that. Be do bit of research to understand whether this site is trustworthy before you access there. So you don't just click on that. And then the risks are, once your device is infected, it can cause a lot of trouble to you, right? So I will tell you what you can do for that. So it can be this, your device can be infected by emails, by browsing through social media. So please be mindful whenever you receive an attachment or a link. Before you click on unknown website, please be mindful all the time before you just click on that. So what we can do to protect, so that is my second takeaway. The first one is something like social distancing today to overcome this COVID epidemic. What you can do is be mindful whenever you receive an attachment. So don't just go and open it up unless you don't know it's really innocent or not harmful one. And then precautionary actions would be, always be mindful and don't click on the unknown links, and don't go directly to unknown websites, and also don't accept any attachment coming from unknown senders. And also, if you have suspicious files and attachment, what you can do, one thing very easily, what you can do is you can directly forward it to one of your Gmail accounts. So Gmail accounts, once you do that, what will happen is Gmail has inbuilt scanning system where it will be your malicious. If it is malicious, it will be removed automatically. So it's a good thing where you don't have to worry much about it. So you just forward it to your Gmail account, and then Gmail will remove this malicious tool for you. Then you know there is no any harmful code within that. The other thing that you can do is, if you get a link or suspicious code, so you can upload this to this website. This is virustotal.com. I will put all these links in my description, so you don't have to worry about it. So if you go to virustotal.com, there is a method, or there is a option to upload suspicious codes. So once you upload it, this tool will test the code for you, and it will confirm whether it's malicious or not. Let me open up this site for you once again. All right, so then what you need to do is just to upload this to this VirusTotal, and it has connected to large number of industry standard antivirus scanners. So it will scan for you, and also it gives you an option to scan even URL. So if you have received any URL, so here we are. So if you click on file, so you can upload your file to this website, and then let's say I'm just going to show you this one. I'm going to select random file in my system. So it will be straight away uploaded to VirusTotal and scan using let me select something small. Yeah, and it's uploading, and then it will be scanning right. So uploaded and being scanned by various antivirus programs. So then it will give you whether it's trustworthy or it's infected. So then you can be mindful. So you would see a large number of antiviruses scan and nothing's detected. So we are safe. So then that is another one. And the other one is URL. So if you receive a lengthy URL, something like this, it can have certain malicious codes within that inbuilt. So what you can do is you can go to URL and then you can start scanning. All right, so that you can do. I'm just gonna go to the URL option. There you can scan it, right? So I hope you get the idea. So before just straight away clicking, you can scan it. It's usually faster, but I think my internet connectivity has an issue now. All right, so let me wait for some time. All right, so go to URL, yeah, and then just type your URL here. Just paste it. So it's very lengthy, you don't know what's inside it, you just enter it. So then it will scan this URL for you and give you insights of it, right? So some URLs even can be shrinked, so you get something like tinyurl.com/something, so you can just scan it, so it gives you an output here. I hope it's clear for you. And then email, browsing, social media, be extremely cautious. And then whenever you receive anything suspicious, please upload it, or please don't open it. Just straight away contact your IT department, because it can be really harmful. And the next one is internet security and online transactions. So in this time, we use a lot of online transactions, including our banking, including our we order something using eBay. So whenever you use that online transactions, there can be a lot of issues, like if somebody listens to the network, chances are high that they can see what you're sending it out, including your credit card information, banking login details, your passwords, and all of those, right? So how to protect our online transaction, right? So these are the areas that you can do. This is my third takeaway tips. The first one is safe internet connection. As of now, you know what is a safe internet connection. It's your own one, trustworthy one. Only limited number of people using this connection, and you know ins and out about it. So if you are in the airport, if you are in a public space, public place, don't just connect it to on open Wi-Fi connection. Even though it provides you internet, it can still monitor your connectivity, the things that you are sending in and receiving. So, and the second one is when you are using when you are performing online transaction, use a trusted device. It should be your own one or your family one. Don't use publicly available terminals, for example terminals available in airports, to perform any transaction. Third one is always use original site. Don't use an any link that you receive through email or social media to access these transactions. So just be mindful and do a bit of research. If it is the first time that you're using this website, it can be fake or scam. Fourth one, private browsing. I showed you how to do that. Even all the major browsers are having private windows, incognito, and then we have private browsing in Internet Explorer, and also you have in Firefox. And then the fifth one is multi-factor authentication. Please enable multi-factor authentication in your banking site, right? That will reduce a lot of issues that you would be encountering in the future if you have multi-factor authentication. Next thing is, don't ever share your multi-factor authentication or one-time password you receive to your phone. Sometimes there are some scams where people try to process a payment using your credit card or your bank account, and then halfway they proceed with OTP, one-time password, which you will be received, and you will be straight away contacted saying that we are from bank and please share your OTP. We are going to send you an OTP now, and please tell us when you receive it. 1 2 3 you're going to receive now. And don't ever trust them. So bank banks will never want to know your OTP. So that is good thing to know. If you have not enabled multi-factor authentication, please go for it. Please enable multi-factor authentication. It will reduce a lot of the risk. And the next one is transaction restrictions. If your banking institution allowed to do that, please enforce maximum amount transaction restriction. So most of the banks, you can say that you can only transfer $1,000 or $500 at one go. So that will reduce the risk. So even if you have more money in your account, if somebody steals your account information, they can produce maximum or proceed, or they can transfer maximum amount of this cash amount. So it reduces the risk. And the next one is track all your transactions with locations if it is possible. At least transactions, even if it is a small amount, because many attackers, when they get your details, they will try with smaller amount first, right? So then you can have an idea whether you are under a risk. The last one is use multiple accounts. The idea is, if you have debit card with you, connect your debit card to one account and save all your money in another account in same institution. So you have two accounts. So you have money in one account, other account you have very small amount of money or no money at all, which is connected to your debit card. So you can use your mobile banking phone application to transfer money whenever required. So if, let's say, if you want to pay $100, you transfer $100 to your debit card account, you can pay it, right? So even if somebody steals your debit card, they will not be able to withdraw any money because you don't have money, right? So in that way you can protect your account. So these are the takeaways under online transaction. If you have any questions, please do comment in my comment option, where I will answer whenever I have time. The next one is emails. So email is one of the main avenues that malicious codes reaching you, as I said, and emails can be easily spoofed. So I can send an email as if I am Donald Trump, for an example, right? It's really easy, right? So even somebody can send a mail, someone like from Microsoft internal team, someone like eBay internal team. So don't trust your email whenever you received it. So that is the idea. And then finding an email address of you, it's really easy. It's easier than you think, right? So they can guess your email address quite easily, especially official address. So even if you receive an email for your office email, don't trust this, right? So please do a bit of research. I will show you how. And then phishing email, sometimes you will receive, look and feel is really same. You are receiving something like somewhere like HSBC bank or your office, organization, Microsoft, wherever. So don't trust at one go, because we are humans, we assume stuff. So whenever we see, even let's say whenever we see blue color coloring code and Facebook fonts, so we assume it's from Facebook. Please be aware, don't trust anything, and please enforce for yourself zero trust. Don't trust anything that you receive or hear or see on the internet without doing a small research. Just what you can do is just you can monitor or view the headers. In email header, you have two important things. One is display header, which you see. It can be, let's say, Donald Trump, but email address can be different, right? So, and also the returning address can be different, so that you can see. So what you can do is, if you are using Microsoft Outlook, for an example, so this is the one I just want to show you. All right, so here you have something called get add-ins. If you click on that, if you are using Microsoft Outlook, you can search for a header. Right, so that's the one I'm using, header. So you have something called message header analyzer, right? So you can install this. So I have already added this. So once you have that, you can just click any email that you any suspicious mail, and then you can click on view headers. Let's go to this one, right? View headers. It will show you the headers. So it shows it's from Microsoft Insider program, but you can analyze the header. Now you would see here the sender. It seems to be Microsoft Insider program, and the domain is this email microsoft.com. So then you would know exactly it's a trustworthy email. Right, so that is another thing that you can do. Now, especially if you are using let's say Gmail. So how to do that? So when you use Gmail, what you can do is you can open up any email. I'm gonna open up one email here. Right here, this one. Right, so here you would see small three dots. I'm gonna click it here, right, and go to show originals. Right, so this show you email header. Here we are. So this is the header. So what you can do is just copy this one, right? So you can copy everything up to some extent, and then you can go to MX toolbox. I will keep all these links in my description view, so you don't have to worry remembering all those stuff. So it will be helpful for you. And then you can go to analyze headers option here, and then you can paste it, right? And then analyze header. So it will come up with in-depth analysis over headers, and then you will understand header related information, right? So like this, so it's from linkedin.com to Google, right? So that's you can confirm it, right? And then all right, and then there can be spammers, and then emails can receive from active codes. And then the next thing is everything was readable in email. Anyone who's in the same network can be seeing these emails, right? Even initially password weren't encrypted, or it's in a plain text. So fourth takeaway, securing emails, first thing is to select secure email provider. If it is free, go for Google or Gmail. And if it is paid ones, you can think of Microsoft 365, something like that. So it's not just simple SMTP connectivity. Please think about email provider before you go for it, right? So it should use secure protocols and technologies. Probably your IT department will take care of it, and then you need to do proper configuration, because some email providers you can use secure configuration and plain text configuration. You can use SMTP configuration and encrypted configuration, SSL or TLS configuration. So these configurations will be done by your IT team. And then the fourth one is digital signature. If there is a possibility, please use digital signature. That is something again your IT team can do. And if it is if you are a personal or personal user, you can always think of having your own digital signature from various providers like Comodo free inter email signature. So then you can enforce certain security. And then digital certificates and encryption. So this is again something that your IT team would do. But from user side, what you can do is, and also DLP policies to prevent data leakage prevention, and then transport rules and header analysis. I explained how to do header analysis. But as a user, what you can do is selecting email provider, and also keep extremely complex password, not your name or not your spouse name or just your name at 123. So please use something not easy to guess. So these are the areas that we can look at about email. To again, just recapping, use a secure email provider as a user perspective, and then you can use hard to guess kind of a password or passphrase, in other words. And then don't share your password with anyone. And then and also it's a good idea to keep multiple email addresses, like at least two. One is for your personal stuff, other one is to use it for your social media or Facebook or blogs, or wherever, when you required to register somewhere, you can use that. So then you can always protect your personal one, which you have confidential information of yours. And then by using something else, you can always use this as public email address, like to register in various locations, not in your banking stuff, obviously. So in order to use your banking ones and your personal communication, you can use personal stuff, personal email address. Other email address can be used to post anything on public websites, or blogging. If you are using social media, you can use that. So these are the takeaways from my side. So these are the stuff that we want to discuss today. And if you have any questions, concerns, please do comment down there, and then I'm happy to respond. And I hope it's informative, and especially during the time that you work from home, please be mindful, aware. There can be many original looking mails. You can receive them, or don't trust at one go. So please be mindful, and then you can prevent a lot of damages to you in the future. Thank you so much for viewing. I hope it's informative, and I'll come up with another video soon. Thanks.